right, so get a blank sheet of paper and title it Systems of Linear Inequalities. Systems of Linear Inequalities. So our objective for today, I can solve a system of linear inequalities by graphing. I can solve a system of linear inequalities by graphing. Let's read together. 1, 2, 3. I can solve a system of linear inequalities by graphing. So yeah, we already covered system of linear equations by graphing. Today we're going to do inequalities. Fairly simple. So copy your objective at the bottom left of your Cornell notes. Like I said, title it System of Linear Inequalities. Okay? All right, here we go. So we already know what equations are. Let's find out for systems of inequalities. You don't have to copy this, just pay attention. Since we already know what systems of equations are, everybody look up to the screen. You don't need to copy this. It says systems of linear inequalities, a set of two or more linear inequalities that have the same variable. Isn't that very familiar, that definition? Kind of like systems, is that correct? Now let me show you examples. Here's one, here's another. So it says, a set of two or more linear inequalities that have the same variable. Do we have two or more here? Yes. Do they have the same variable? Are they linear inequalities? Yeah, there's the inequality symbol. How about this one? Yes, two or more linear inequalities because they have the inequality symbol. And do they have the same variables? Yes. So let me show you non-examples. Here's the first one. Look at it. And there's a second one. Oh, the second one. So think about it. Oh, sorry. Why are these non-examples, and why is this one a non-example? Think about it first. Non-example and non-example. If these are examples, talk it over to your neighbor, please. Talk it over to your neighbor. Please should remember that it has two or more linear inequalities and that they have the same variables. Notice that it's very similar to system of equations. Yes? Yes. All right. Steps. You don't need to write these steps again. I just need you to pay attention. They're the same as we did with systems. Check this out, of systems of equations. To graph systems of equations, didn't we say we need to solve for y, both equations? And look at here. What do we have to do? Solve for y. What is the second step for a system of linear equations? Graph the equations. What is it now? Graph the inequalities. The only thing that changes is that we need to check a point and shade the solution set. Whereas with the systems of linear equations, we just identify the point of intersection of the lines. Okay? And the last one, state the domain and range of the solution. So, in order to get to this part, I need you guys to write this example down. Example number 1. Copy that, please. So right, tell whether the order pair is a solution to the given system. Example 1, and they give us the first point is -1, -3, and the system of inequalities is y less than or equal to -3x plus 1 and y less than 2x plus 2. So they're asking us to see if the order pair is a solution to that system. So pens down, eyes up here. I'm going to go ahead and do this one, and then I'm going to ask you to copy right after, and then I'll give you one more so you can practice. Yes? Here it goes. So just like a system of equations, remember, what did we do when we were given a point to check? What do we have to do? Think about it. What do we have to do when they give us a point for a system of equations to check? What did we do? Or what do we do to check at the end for a system of equations? You substitute into each one, don't we? Well, check this out. For this one, I need to write these two. I'm going to write it here, y less than or equal to -3x plus 1. I'm going to write the other one right here, y less than 2x plus 2. And I'm going to check both of them using these values. What is my x? -1. What is my y? -3. So now I just need to substitute in here. So what is y? Negative 3. What is x? Negative 1. And then I bring everything else down. Less than or equal to the negative 3 multiplies the x. And then plus, what was, oh, plus 1. Plus 1. Okay, let me simplify. Negative 3 less than or equal to, what is negative 3 times negative 1? Positive 3 plus 1. What is positive 3 plus 1? 4. So let me read it from left to right. Is negative 3 less than or equal to 4? Yes, so that is true. So now I need to do the same thing for this one. What is x? Negative 1. What is y? Negative 3, right? I'm getting that same point. Bring everything else down. Less than 2 times dx plus 2. What is 2 times negative 1? Negative 2. Bring down the plus 2. The less than negative 3. What is negative 2 plus 2? 0. So let's read it from left to right. Is negative 3 less than 0? Yeah, so it's true. So guess what? This point is a solution. So you're going to write solution. Copy that, please. All right, so pretty much it says tell whether the order pair is a solution of the given system. All we have to do is substitute this into each inequality. Both of them need to be true in order for this to be a solution. Both of them need to be true in order for this point to be a solution. Tell your neighbor what I just said. That is correct. So therefore, what happens if one of them's not true? Then it's not a solution, okay? So with that said, copy this next one down, please. Example number 2. Okay, copy this one. Example 2, or 1B, my bad, 1B. And the point given, you don't have to copy the words anymore. You already have them, right? But just copy the point. The point that they give us is negative 1, 5. And the system is y less than negative 2x minus 1 and y greater than or equal to x plus 3. All right, here we go. So first things first, I'm going to check the first inequality, which is y less than 2x minus 1. So I just rewrite that over here, and I'm going to substitute instead of x, what do I write? Negative 1. Instead of y, I write 5. So therefore you substitute, and you should have gotten 5 less than 1. Is that true? No. So do we need to check the second one? No, we're done. So therefore you just write no solution. Not a solution. Like I said, in order for it to be a solution, both inequalities must be true. Tell your neighbor again what I said. Okay, so in this case, once again, as soon as you test it and if one of them is incorrect, you don't need to go any further. You're done. Okay? All right. So show me with your fingers how comfortable you are with these. Okay? All right, so we're done with these. Now, get your graph paper in front of you, the big graph paper. Copy example. We're going to label example 2A. 2A. Okay, at the top of your big graph paper, you're just going to write these two words. Solve and check. Solve and check. And then copy the system. Negative 3x plus 2y greater than or equal to 2 and y less than 4x plus 3. Copy both that system way at the top. All right, for this one, I do need you to be waiting for me. Put your pens down, eyes up here, and then when I ask you to copy, copy. Don't go ahead, because then you're going to miss something small that you're going to need for the rest of the system. Here it goes. First part for solving systems by graphing. Doesn't matter if it's equations or inequalities. You need to solve for y. Are both of these already solved for y? No, this one needs to be solved for y. So therefore, check this out. I'm going to rewrite this right here. Negative 3x plus 2y greater than or equal to 2. To solve for y, I need to add 3x to each side. I'm left with 2y greater than or equal to 3x plus 2. At the end, I divide by 2, divide by 2. Y is greater than or equal to 3 halves x. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Is it solved for y? Yes, but specifically, to graph a line, we need it in slope-intercept form. Is this a slope? Yes. Is this the y-intercept? Yes, it's a slope-intercept form. Let's look at this one. Is this one already solved for y? Is it in slope-intercept form? Let's see, slope and y-intercept. That is correct. So both of these are ready to graph. So copy that, please. Okay, here we go. Since I already started with this one, I'm going to continue with this one since that's the one that I changed to y form, and I'm going to graph it. So pens down, eyes up here. Here it goes. Pens down, eyes up here. Here it goes. I'm going to graph this blue inequality with my blue pen. The information that I need to graph this, I need my y-intercept, which is the constant or the last number here. That means that's my y-intercept. I look for y1. y1 is right here. To graph it, place points, I need to use my slope. Slope tells me to go up 3 steps and 2 to the right. From here I go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Place my point. I do it again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I do it again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Are we there so far? For inequalities, it's a little bit different because we need to check the inequality symbol. Everybody look up. If the inequality symbol has a equal sign, do you guys see the equal sign right underneath? You see this dash right here? That's a little equal sign. Do you see how it forms with the bottom part of the inequality symbol right here? If it has an equal sign, it's a solid line. If it doesn't have an equal sign, it's a dashed line. So look at the other inequality. Does it have an equal sign? So this one's going to be a dashed line. So for this one, it's a solid. So it's kind of like graphing an equation. So here, all I do is get my ruler and graph my line like so. Do that step, please. Copy that. Use blue, please. Once again, when you sketch your line with your ruler, make sure you stretch it all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom. Please, pretty please, with a cherry on top. Pens down, eyes up here. Here goes the last part just for that line with inequalities. Okay? Before I show you that part, let me show you something really quick on a side note. Everybody look up, please. If I had a number line like so, and I label this one y, and I place a point on 3, and I ask you, what numbers are greater than 3? And you're going to say they are 4, 5, 6, or 3.1, or you're going to say all real numbers greater than what? 3. So everything to the right. Is that correct? Yes. All right. But what if I twisted this around like so, and now I had the following? Isn't it the same as what I did before? Let me show you. I just turned this one around. There it is. This is also y. Here's my point. What numbers are greater than 3? Everything to the up. Are we there so far? Okay, so now, that's one thing. The second thing that I wanted to show you, if I was to sketch a rectangle, and I drew a line through it like so. Oh, sorry. Do you see that it divided the rectangle into 2 sections? It divided it into this section right here and it divided it into this section right here. Do you guys see that? Everything under that line. Do you guys see that? Okay. All right, so with that said, let me go back to our current graph. Here it goes. The last part for this line, I need this information right here, which is the y and the inequality symbol, and the y-intercept. What is my y-intercept? 1. So now check this out. This is saying y is greater than or equal to 1. So here's my point at 1. What numbers are greater than 1? Everything over here, is that correct? So for inequalities, we no longer just shade this part. We shade all the area where all these numbers are found. Do you guys see all the area? Yeah. Which is all this. You guys see it? Yeah. Okay. Which is on top of that line that we just graphed. Does everybody see it? Okay. All right. So with your blue pen, do that please, and copy this. All right. So here we go. It doesn't have to be pretty like mine. As long as you do some dashed lines like that. So now I'm done with this equation. Now I'm going to go with the first one. This one, the one right here that is already solved for y. Now let's graph this one. Let's go through the entire process. Here it goes. Let's do this one together. Box, with red, my bad. Box with red, the y-intercept, which is +3. Is that correct? Okay, and let's plot that point. +3 is right, 1, 2, 3. It's about right there. All right, now we need to plot points. Let's use the slope. Box your slope. And it needs to be in fraction form. So what is a fraction form? 4/1. So it tells me to go 4 steps up and 1 to the right. So from here we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 to the right. You place your point. Do that. And do another one after that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 to the right. Do at least 3 to 4 points, please. Once you have that, let's look at the inequality symbol. Does it have an equal sign? No, so our line's going to be dashed. So you get your ruler, and when you're sketching your line, just go dash, 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 dash. You know what I'm saying? So you do this. Watch. Let me show you my line so you guys can understand what I'm talking about. I'm going to do a dashed line like so. Everybody see it? All right, so go ahead and do that, please. Graph your dashed line. Remember, with your ruler, you need to extend your line all the way through, okay? All right, so now that we have our line, there it is. Let's do the last part, Everybody look up. So what am I going to need at the end? I need to write an inequality just using the y-intercept and this part, right? So you circle your y and the inequality symbol, and you write it there. Y and the inequality symbol. And what is my y-intercept? +3. Okay? So let's look at that. Where's that at? It's right here. And what does it say? Y is less than 3. So what numbers are less than 3 at this point? Everything down here. So therefore, we're going to shade everything over here. Is that correct? All this under the line that we just did. Everything under that line. Everything that way. Even into that blue, because that's the point of systems of inequalities. So let's look at the process. We solved for y. We graphed one of them. It did have the equal sign, so it was a solid line. And then in order to shade, we needed to look at the y, the inequality symbol, and the y-intercept, and we said y is greater than 1. What numbers were greater than 1? All of these. That means that all of those are a solution to that inequality. So for this one, the same thing. I graph the inequality here, but then it didn't have an equal sign, so it was a dashed line or a dotted line. Then we do the same steps. We write our inequality, and we shaded everything under this line. Now, this is the key part. Do you notice that there's an intersection region here? Look at all this, from here to here to here. Do you guys see this? Do you guys see all this? Yeah. And you can overlap it with green. And that, you're going to label solution set. Solution set. And what does that mean? That if I was to pick a point within that solution set, and I substitute that into each inequality, what is it going to make it? It's going to make it true for both. Everybody with me? So notice here, it's no longer just one point. Aren't there a bunch of points in here? So now, therefore, from now on, instead of having one point as a solution for the system, now there could be many points for the solution. So check this out. I'm going to get a point from in there. Let's see. How about this one right here? That one is, let's see, it's a 3 and it's 7. So this point is 3 of x, 7 of y. This is a solution to this system because if I was to substitute it into both, it makes both of them what? True. Exactly what we did with the previous ones. Remember? Yes. So right now I'm not going to substitute because I don't want to spend too much time on that. However, I want you to graph one by yourself. Here goes the next one. Copy this next one, please. Okay, here we go. Copy this one, please. Example 2b. You don't have to copy any words. Just copy the system. Y less than or equal to 3x minus 4. Y greater than negative x plus 7. So let's see. Step 1 says solve for y. Are they solved for y already? Yes. Are they in slope-intercept form already? Yes. Yes. So let's start graphing. I'm going to graph the top one. Let's graph it in red. This one right here. So we need the what? Y-intercept. You place your point. So now you can actually go ahead of me. I'm just going to go through this, and you can go ahead of me if you want. And we need the slope. What is my slope? 3 over 1. So we go from here 3 steps up. 1, 2, 3, 1 to the right. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, 1 to the right. 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 I look at my inequality symbol. Does it have an equal sign? Yes, so it's a solid line. That's going to be in red. Solid line. Graph your line. Okay, and the last step, we need to shade. That means we need this information. Everybody look up. I'm going to circle this front part, and I'm going to write it here, y less than or equal. And what is the last part? Negative 4. So let's read it. Y is less than or equal to negative 4. What numbers are less than or equal to negative 4? Everything down here, so that means I'm going to shade everything under that line. Like so. Let's graph the next one. I need the y-intercept, and I'm going to do that in blue, which is plus 7, positive 7, which is up here. And I need my slope. What is my slope, everyone? Negative 1 over 1. So that means I'm going 1 step down, 1 to the right. 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 Let's look at the inequality symbol. Does it have an equal sign? No, so it's going to be a what? Dashed or dotted line because it doesn't have an equal sign. Don't forget about that. So therefore, I'm going to graph this one in blue. And let's shade. I need this part. Y is greater than 7. What numbers are greater than 7? 8, 9, 10. So all of these above this line. Everybody see that? And where do they intersect? Do you see the intersection region? Yes, which is all this. I want you to choose a point. Choose a point anywhere on the solution set. Right in there, solution set. Solution set. And pick any point in there. I'm going to pick this one right here. That is 7, 4. So a solution, one of the solutions for that would be 7, 4. You choose your own. That one's mine. Yes, I know. I just want you to choose your own so that you understand that it doesn't matter which point you pick within there. Any point in that solution set is a solution to the system. Everybody got it? It's pretty simple. Okay, homework. Make sure you work on your study guides. Study guides. Number 1 and 2. Those of you coming in for tomorrow on Saturday Academy, make sure you come ready with pencils, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.